It's the Date Master, and we're back. It's a good Thursday morning. We're going to talk about loyalty. And I want you to understand something when it comes to a woman's loyalty versus a man's loyalty. Who gets her loyalty? I know you guys may have been seeing Nicki Minaj trending. What you are about to witness, if she keeps going the route she's going, you're going to see the industry and the powers that be break. This may be the first woman of color. This may be the first woman in the hip hop industry that you see broken down by going against the grain and betraying her oath to her owners. You notice she has been in the news about her husband and all of this sex offender stuff, etc., etc. Now you seeing her in the news about the vacation jab, talking about the side effects, but then she tried to cover it up. Nikki is going through that battle between what's right and good, what's right and wrong, but she still is making choices in her personal life. When you choose a ex-offender, we don't know the facts. I mean, I think there was significant evidence to prove he was indeed a offender. However, I don't want you to focus on him or his character or the charges, but her loyalty to him, to where she's allegedly trying to pay off the accusers, etc. She's sticking with him. A woman of her value. She's not a bad looking chick. She does have the enhancements, which I don't. That's not my cup of tea. If it floats your boat, but nonetheless, she's a very attractive woman in the face from a, just an aesthetic. She does have a nice look to her, but she's chosen to give her loyalty to a lesser man, to a man that would find himself in such a position to where you look at her past relationships, they don't have any kind of, they have a little diversity, but they also have a lot of similarity. This is her. She has a certain type. When you look at from a physical, style, status type, dealing with the help, then dealing with the mainstream guy, then going back to dealing with the help, because he's not a man that's on her status from a socioeconomic level. She brought him up. But you see, she's a chick that will be loyal to her own ego and power. People are thinking that she's in love with this guy, that she's just overly attached to him, when it's really she's attached to her need of him, because she's at an age to where she can't really deal with a certain caliber of man. She's only going to be able to deal with the man she can control, because that's where she gets her power. That's where she gets her ego. Most of the women that you see on social media, if you just listen and look at how they talk, they pride themselves in the control and the manipulation that they have over their men, saying that they wouldn't dare touch a door to go inside a building or a car. They wouldn't dare pay a bill on a date. All these guys are good for are this and that. That's what you use those guys for. See, they're a walking hypocrite. They've been socially conditioned to think and act a way subconsciously, but their innate nature, their sexual nature, reinforces who they truly are. That's why they have to do it on the slick. You get a loyalty, but she's going to get her rocks off. You think she's just going to be loyal and not deal with anyone, you should know and should be able to tell if a woman is truly into you, not because of the money. Because women that have money, they a lot sometimes they may not treat it as if it's not an object. They spend freely as long as they're getting pleased, as long as they're getting the pleasure and satisfaction that they want. They're gonna sit tight. Okay, I'll sit tight for a minute, but their nature, not their nature, but their needs and wants change like the weather. So one day you're satisfying all of her needs, the next day you're not. And then this is when nature kicks in. You ask, where's the loyalty, or who gets the loyalty? It's the person or thing that satisfies her pleasures and needs to a certain degree. Because new pleasures come into play. Women have an insatiable appetite with everything. How you do one thing is usually how you do all things. They have an insatiable appetite for shopping, consumerism. They have an appetite for certain food. They have certain appetites for other things to make its way into the door. Sexually. Okay, she didn't want you to go hard. Now she wants you to go hard. Okay, now she's wanting more. You can only go so deep. You can only go so deep. So what she does, she finds a guy who can go deeper than you. So not saying that you're not gonna get, her loyalty. She won't be faithful to you. You won't be the only guy she desires sexually if you're not a certain type of guy with her. I was talking to one of my guys. I said that you have to run game on your own. If you have a chick, if you have to run continuously, fluff them emotionally. You have to keep it as if she's still pursuing you, or she's pursuing you even from the gate. You have to keep it spicy. And you can do this with little to no effort. And that is simply by focusing and staying on course with your purpose. Staying on course for self-development. Because what that is loving yourself. And she's seeing the way that you love yourself. That makes her that much more into you. That much more attracted to you. Because you have not given her a priority role. She's still in the back seat. She still won't come first. You always lead and come first. Because you're the head. The tail doesn't go before the head. Animals don't walk backwards. You're the head, so you continuously lead. You have to see everything. You have to observe, study. Okay, we had a trip playing here. You see what's going on. We may have to, let's change up the date. Let's change up the date. It's a lot going on. You have to have this sixth sense of awareness, even with her. Okay, she on the bullshit. I gotta do a quick flim flam. But her loyalty will go to whatever it is that pleases her and satisfies her desires at that moment. That's why when you listen to a woman describe a man, she described the perfect utensil, a multi-use utensil. He has to be this, he has to be that, he has to be making this, he has to look like this, he can't do this. They're living in a bizarre world. They think they can build a bear. They're going to treat him like a Build-A-Bear. Okay, I'm going to make him custom to me, and he's only going to want me. Fools. A man of value, a man to meet those standards, he's going to very well know he does meet those standards, and he should behave as such. His behavior and nature should exemplify your list with other attributes that you did not take into consideration. This is again where her loyalty is questioned. Okay, do I want that? Okay, it may be too much for me to give. And usually women now are a lot more lazier from a relationship standpoint. Not even in relationships, they don't want to stay in the gym. They don't want to keep themselves looking a certain way. So they're not going to behave a certain way once they have you in their midst. Because you guys are the ones submitting. You guys are the ones throwing in the towel and okay, I know I just got out of a relationship, but I'm gonna get right back in another one. Yeah, I know she left me, but I'm going to get right back I'm gonna get in a new relationship to replace her. You become codependent. And you think this is the one this is the one, right? What's this, number 6 for you? This is number 8. This is your 8th girlfriend in 3 years. This is the one. This is your 8th girlfriend in 3 to 4 years, 5 years. But this is the one right here. Fools. Self-development, self-care, self-love is going to attract the woman that you want. You have to assimilate and adapt to the supply and demand. If you want to deal with women or have a nice woman when it's all said and done, like we all do, we really don't want to go to the end of the term, if you will, alone. You want to have some. You may not want to marry, but you want to have a woman, a female companion to double up what you have built. I'm not a fan of asexual evolution for men or women. The MGTOW, you can do whatever you want, but your nature is going to drive you back to a woman. So you would have went, however many years building, whatever, fine. Take that time off to do that. But ain't nothing wrong with having a beautiful woman to do this thing called life with. Don't get it twisted with this red pill content shit. But she has to be vetted properly. She has to be solid. In this land, we live in a wicked land, so you can expect the citizens of said wicked land to be anything other than what the land is, which is wicked. So one must understand the land and the environment that they are in, and they must cleanse themselves of the toxic, immoral coating that was given to them, and that was given to all of us by way of television, religion, Christianity, going to church on Sunday, public education, not teaching you anything, teaching you how to be a worker bee, teaching you how to follow orders, how to get in line, how to become docile when the superior figures are threatened or feel threatened. But this is who gets her loyalty. Men and objects, things, places, anything that satisfies her needs and wants and pleasures at that moment. Because I'm not saying you'll never get loyal. You'll get loyalty, but you will get it in spurts. You'll get it for periods of time because they're not designed to be loyal. You have to dominate them into a loyal and submissive position by being what they want and need. It's the Date Master.